instead of living and breaking this connection. To see how things change, you used to be my pain, just to hate, to stay in the darkness and rain. You keep from me the summer I cannot reach. I made a wall, a hedge between. I pray every night for that tree to blossom, and day after day keep reading the silence.
Hello guys, another day, another PST. I forgot. Every time my stream starts, I always forget to mute my fucking. Damn it.
Everybody's dead.
Okay, my mic works. Alright, good. And here, what are we at? Chapter 4? We're almost done, I guess. I say almost done, but we still have a majority of chapter 4, and I have no idea how many stages in chapter 5. So that's bad as well. Can you guys see my thing?
Yep.
Alright. That's good. I still haven't really found a good stage to grind for. I don't even know who should I be grinding for at this point. It's like only 7 days left, or maybe 6 days. I think it's 6 days already. But like, I still am like, I don't really know what to do.
秘密兵器キス到着。こんにちは指揮官さん。はじめまして指揮官様。
Alright, I was just
チョ
doing
コ
some
食
random
べま
stuff.
す？
Let me just enhance some stuff.
いいよ。次はどこを変えよう。
And retire some key stars, and then we should head off on our journey of bouncing light rays. Oh, and then from last stream yesterday, we unlocked this thing, labyrinthine defense, which apparently has every single job. But of course, I don't think you want to farm. I don't think anyone wants to farm ranking. So when we left off yesterday, we just finished this stage. I don't know what this stage was. Oh yeah, it was a massive like choke point of bloody defense gates. That was what it was. Look at this shit. How does that look, you guys?
Dumb.
Yep,
No
it does.
time.
Kill myself. Anyways, actually it wasn't that complicated, but you know, it's really not nice to look at. Alright, without further ado, Sintering. Did you finally shake off the hacking? Fortify's consciousness gradually returns from level 2. Am I dead? Even if you were, I would have pieced you back together so you would continue working for me. Alright, now get up. I'm not dreaming, am I? Hey, Zenji! Are you so eager to see me only in your dreams? Oh, she's using a... Is she holding a... Is that Annie? Is that A94? The gun she's holding?
I can't tell. I'm not good at guns.
Looks like A94. Yeah. Are you so eager to see me only in your dreams? The scene before her slowly resolves into clarity. There is no doubt that the person before her is NG. She offers a hand to pull 45 up to her feet. then picks up the submachine gun lying on the ground and returns it to her. 45 looks up and flinches out of reflex because there are several tiny blank-faced Naitos standing behind NG. G11 lies at her feet. She seems to have fainted from fright, but she doesn't look otherwise injured. 45 only comes to her senses when NG shoves her weapon at her. She had been prepared to encounter all sorts of things, but she cannot make any sense of what she is seeing now. Besides, I've never heard of dolls dreaming before. Dolls don't dream. Looks like you've changed jobs while I wasn't looking. I gather being a nanny is way better than being a state sex agent. Wow. Well, speaking from personal experience, I can say that babysitting is definitely more interesting than working as a government agent. Is it really alright to have those paradox people behind you? If they wanted to kill me, they wouldn't have had to wait until now. Don't worry, these kids are not threat. So they're kids? Oh, they are miniature Naitos. 45 looks at the miniature Naitos again. They're also staring at her warily. Like 45, they are still feeling uneasy. Well, let's leave them aside for now. What the hell is going on? Where are the other DeFi dolls? Good news and bad news. Which do you want to hear first? Start with the bad news. Typical. The bad news is that they are sealed in another room. The entire area's been... how should I put this? That bastard with sick hobbies locked down all the passages in the lab. This lab's been physically and electromagnetically fortified. We spent a lot of effort finding a way into this lab. And the good news? The good news is that the internal circuits are still usable, so I could keep in touch with my subordinates. You also used those circuits to contact them earlier, didn't you? That's hardly good news. All I can say is that the enemy are a bunch of morons, considering they didn't even attempt to restrict internal comms. This base was originally abandoned, so there wasn't much of a need to set up internal security. If all our enemies were so lax, that would make our jobs so much easier. How are things on AK-12 and AN-9 Force N? Do they have Naitos to babysit too? Pretty much. And they're certainly enjoying it a lot more than I. Anyway, you came just in time for our scheduled check-in. Time to tell them our good news. So do we have Paradox capture now?
Yeah, that's good news.
That's good news. That's the real good news. Let me increase my Discord volume. I turned it down when I was playing Siege. Can you guys say something?
Hello?
No.
Hiya?
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, sure. I didn't mean you say hiya. I meant to say loud. I meant to say more. I wanted... I said hiya because I was adjusting your volume. She says, hello!
Christ.
Hello.
Oh
Please
my
go.
God. Okay. NG picks up the fixed mic on the wall. 12, can you hear me? Our reinforcements have finally arrived. Loud and clear. Reinforcements, you say? Have the female gorilla and her caretaker come back to us? Or have Griffin forces finally fought their way in here? All wrong. It's GMP45. So it's the leader of Squad 404, huh? What about the rest of them? Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, it's just her. But then it wasn't G11 on the ground just now. Just the one. Alright then.
I am the one.
I'm here. Infiltrated. Alright then. Though a single door can't do much, finding out exactly how much 404 hates their leader is a sort of reward in itself. I just saw your two other teammates. It seems your people dislike you as much as mine do me. So if you've already met, I guess you know how things are between us now.
Like a soap drama.
Yeah, basically. EOT1 dragged G11 in here and 45 followed her through the air vents. Looks like we have a chance to disable the locks on these juveniles. It's true that she's the only one who can do both of those things. Finally, we've got a good card to play. I have to hand it to you for thinking of going through the air ducts. Since you found the air vents exit, why didn't you go through it yourself? None of us could fit through such a small duct apart from these juveniles. At first, we were hoping that she could head out and find grieving forces so they could blast through the door from the outside. But none of us expected her to bring back Miss UMP-45, the weakest door among all present company. Oof.
Oof, size.
I expected none less of Squad 404's leader. You're always exceeding our expectations and doing things we can't. Well, excuse me for being the weakest door here. If you don't mind, then I, the weakest door, will gladly leave the way I came. After all, it's not like the weakest door can do anything here. Stop wasting time taking shots at each other. 12. Sync your status with 45. While you were playing house with those juveniles, I tried establishing a connection again, but it didn't work out. My signal couldn't merge with those juveniles' consciousness, which means I won't be able to reach their base layer. I'll keep trying while 94 fills you in on the situation. Ah, Annie. Hello,
The
Miss
nice
45.
one.
Huh?
She's the only nice one.
Yeah. Hello, Miss 45. I'm glad you managed to get in here. I apologize, but time is very tight, so I will skip the details and only cover the main points. We infiltrated this base ahead of time with NG and K. During our reconnaissance, we discovered this sealed lab and obtained some information NG needed. However, Sangvi's forces suddenly showed up while we were scouting, and they began fighting with Paradox units. The older Nitos went to fight the SF units. At first, we intended to investigate further, but then the lab was physically and electronically locked down. We lost contact with K and the other two members, and we could not leave this lab by ourselves. While we were trapped inside, we found these juvenile Nitos. Some of them were comatose at the time. Through connection with them, we discovered that their neural clouds had been hacked and attacked by an August-like signal. We decided to trace it back through the lab and found that those juveniles had ceiling access to the lab. If we can help those children shake off the attack, we might have a chance to get out of here. However, AK-12 and I are not compatible with the old gas protocol, so we are having a hard time trying to enter these girls' neural clouds. Wait a minute, you lost me. So the Paradox signals I detected earlier were these childlike Nitos? Actually, they're not Nitos. To be precise, they are juvenile test subjects who have not yet been turned into Nitos yet. So they haven't been mechanically augmented? Is that why they still look like humans? They are humans, 100%, there you go.
Dun dun dun.
So they're still humans? What lucky girls. According to the lab records, all the specimens that could become Nitos were shipped away. The only ones left behind were the juveniles that were of little value to Paradours, as well as those who were not up to spec. So they are isomers. Isomers? That's Persica's name for the specimens who failed to become Nitos. Also, while we were in Tallinn, the ART managed to secure a Nito individual with memories of the isomers, and she told us a bit about what happened here. A Nito individual? Looks like a lot has happened in my absence. Yeah, a lot. Like almost the entire fucking storyline.
Because you're not the protagonist, we are. Ha! Jokes on you.
I'm just as surprised by what's happened on your end. These isomers seem to be protecting the labs by themselves. Did their original controllers abandon this place because they knew we were coming? If only things were so simple. Well, it won't make no difference to us, even if it was for some other reason. So what should we do now? We need a doll who can connect to the neural clouds. You hacked a Nito before, so it should be easy for you. Wait a minute, how do they have neural clouds if they're humans? I wouldn't have believed it either if Defy had reservified it with me.
Yeah, no machine son. Okay, no, but probably a neural chip embedded into their brain or something.
However, it's true that these kids have neural clouds that can be entered. Their consciousness have been physically embodied, like a doll's. Like a doll's, huh? What kind of freaky experiments did they go through? We can discuss this question at length once we get them out of there. In any case, right now, the only ones in Sangvi's Ferry that can still hack through the August protocol are the Sangvi's mastermind and the former ART member for M16, who seems to be looking for something just like us. But of course, I don't think her motives are as simple as helping Sangvi's Ferry. She looks a little different now, but she doesn't seem to give a damn about SF. That's what worries me the most. An AR team member going rogue definitely has something to do with OGS. I wanted to learn more about the doors on the AR team from Persica, but I haven't been able to contact her for a very long time. There's also more to SF attack on this base that meets the eye. Sorry. We need to understand what Mastermind and M16 are after if we have to sort this out. We'll deal with things as they come then. That reminds me, I was also hacked a while ago, and the opposition seems to be checking my memories over and over again. Your memories? The memories of Operation Butterfly. I think I can guess what her reasons are. At the very least, one of her goals should be the same as yours, namely uncovering the truth behind Operation Butterfly and finding the one who orchestrated the whole thing. Isn't that right? If that was her aim, then she shouldn't have stopped us. At least she's only hindering our progress and not outright eliminating us. Still, she's far too conceited. If that bastard, the damn William, really is behind all this, then it's very likely that M16 may have unwittingly helped him carry out his plan. I'm worried that if we don't get ourselves out of this mess ASAP, the events of Operation Butterfly might repeat themselves. This is such a pain. Alright, if I want to connect to these juveniles, how should I do it? Enter the nearest space through this girl. Angie places a hand on the young Nitro standing at the forefront and gently leads her up to 45. This is test subject EOT-1. At least that's what she's referred to in the records. These girls don't know how to use weapons, so in order to fight back, she lured us into different rooms and forcibly separate D5 from me. She's a very clever girl. Fortunately, as a human, I couldn't be crashed like a doll, and so after we had the check, she was willing to communicate and restore D5 to normal. Oh. I worked out a rescue plan with her so we could escape, in exchange for the safety of all the children here. You might as well be a dubious kidnapper offering a kid candy while adopting them.
The white van gets involved. Let's go.
The suspicious white van with the words free candy painted outside of it with no windows.
I'm not like you. Keep my word. Ooh, showing shame.
I'm not like you, I keep my word. Oof. Oof. Ching chang chung. If only you had blushed even a little back when you paid us less than the sum we agreed on. Okay. Angie is a good person.
My gosh, she's adorable.
Oh my god, please, I want a Naito now.
Can I adopt them?
The young Naito's eyes sharpened as though 45 had uttered some kind of blasphemy. Alright, whatever you say. They are both victims and important witnesses. Therefore, rescuing them is part of the mission. Besides, I think I like kids more than I expected.
Oh, her motherly instincts kicked in.
Sometimes I think I wouldn't be able to stand here at all if it wasn't for the money. Now then, misstep subject. How should I connect with you? Anna? Anna? Call me Anna. Oh my god, she has a name as well.
Hello, Anna.
Did you give her that name? I'm not in the habit of naming other people.
Aww.
So she chose her own name? Sounds like she's a relative of yours. The self-declared Anna nods. She seems very happy with what 45 has said.
She imprinted. Oh my gosh.
That's nice.
She imprinted Angie.
The look of approval in her eyes deeply disturbs 45. Don't look at me like that. It's unsettling. Since you have hacked a Naito before, it means you should be able to set up a connection with these kids, and she will lead you into their base layer. However, you should be careful. SF will definitely try to take advantage of the opportunity that your entry gives them, and the attacks on you might intensify as a result. That said, you won't be alone in there. These kids will help you while you're in their base layer. You need to bring them out and help them escape their current predicament, because that is also the only way we can escape our current predicament. Alright then, Miss Anna. Whether you're doing this for us or for yourselves, you best get started as soon as possible. Follow me. Foaming. Okay, what is with all these names, man?
I think they're talking about like
baking.
No, milling. Wait, no, actually, milling the wheat. Then you mixing the dough, then you preheat it.
Then we preheat the oven. What
You
the hell
need
is
to
Get the
sintering?
bread.
No clue, but foaming. What's foaming? Pouring cyanide into it or something?
Sintering or frittage is the process of compacting and forming a solid mass of material by heat or pressure while melting it to the point of liquefaction. Sintering happens naturally in mineral deposits or as a part of manufacturing process used with metals, ceramics, plastics, and other materials. Okay.
So
Not baking then.
Not baking.
What the fuck is foaming? When you go rabbit?
Oh wait, maybe forcing the metal to foam to get rid of impurities or something. I don't know.
Is it called metal
I'm
foam?
getting real. Foaming.
Oh yeah, metal foam is actually the thing. But then it's like no way there's a difference. There's a thing, but is it metal foaming? I think. You know what? Whatever. It's just fun. Foaming.
So much story.
Her
Surrounding
surroundings fade away rapidly. This is unlike entering other neural clouds. But if I've experienced this before, a suffocation, a sensation akin to being swallowed up by the sea. Unlike how it would be in a doll's neural cloud, she feels a wave of tremendous discomfort washing over her, as though something was squirming in the depths of her heart, and for a moment she feels extremely anxious. So this is a human's neural cloud. However you slice it, this is far beyond the realm of what I thought was common sense. What should we do next? 45 looks at the other juveniles who are far in the distance. They are currently lying in the middle of a spinning funnel. An attacking signal circles over their heads like an evil dragon whose dark, misty breath enshrouds them. The juveniles tremble in the mist as though they were being electrocuted. I've never seen such a realistic looking depiction of an electronic attack before. Oh, is she pouting? It means to facilitate your understanding of the situation, you
Oh my
dummy.
god, she's adorable.
Oh my god.
Ah,
She's cute.
I'm gonna adopt her now.
The enemy is a signal created from the NO gas transmitted core order. My sisters have their hands full just fending off the attack. However, the enemy keeps changing the logistic concepts of this electronic space. If this keeps up, they'll be assimilated by the attacking O-gas signals. If that happens, you'll be done for. So you aren't actually a blank-faced kid with a stammer? Isn't that obvious? Like I said, you're a dummy.
Fuck up.
Baka. Of course, of course I can do whatever I want to in my own neural cloud. Shouldn't a tactical doll know that much? I mean, she is a kid, so...
Naive as always.
To think Angie told me you were one of the best electronic warfare dolls she's ever seen. Instead of thinking about how to solve a problem at hand, you're concerned about something so trivial. And you call yourself Angie's subordinate? You have no shape, oh my god. You nitwit, idiot, moron.
Fuck up.
Listen up, Brad. I'm not obliged to save you or anything. I consider my job done as long as I get Angie out alive. You and these test subjects are nothing more than a burden to me. Got that? What? Aren't you going to save us? From my point of view, saving you is the least efficient course of action. Given my tendencies, I would have never done something this if Angie hadn't asked me to. But Angie already asked you to. I never said I'll obey her orders. But you're in my neural cloud, so you have to
Savage.
listen to me.
No.
You can save those words for that attacking signal over there. Anything else you'd like to add?
Why is she bullying the...
I mean,
Bullying the life
she
out.
was trying
She
to...
is a kid though.
Yeah, fair.
She probably doesn't know better. She's also really desperate. Because like, she doesn't want her sisters to die.
Hey, you don't need to tell the waterworks just because I scolded you.
I don't think you have
doomed.
P45.
Nobody can save us now.
I don't think 45's go away, kids.
Definitely not. The only one who can enter this place is a brilliant that's all talk. You're doomed.
Yep. Those are
Oi,
9-year-old
who are you
insults,
calling a
right?
brilliant that's all talk?
They don't hold back. They don't hold back.
You're either a big old meanie who watched people die without lifting a finger and then incompetent idiot. Take your pick.
be honest, it's 45 we are
I have
talking
just
about.
about had it with this brat. You're totally not giving me enough credit. Fine, I get it. I'll drag away Olga's electronics attack. How's that? Are you happy now? Are you
No.
stupid? If all of us are being tied up by that one signal, what the heck can you do with the processing power of just a doll? You're just gonna get yourself killed right away, don't you see? You really are a whiny brat. While I was wasting time entertaining your nonsense, I've already finished analyzing the signal attacking you. It's hardly strong enough to kill me, if that's all there is to it. Also, the bitch who's holding you prisoner desperately wants to learn something from me. She won't let me die until she has what she wants. What? The world is way more complicated than you can imagine, so don't get too full of yourself. 45, she's just a fucking kid. Give her a fucking break. In any case, listen up. My plan is simple, very simple. I'm going to draw away the attacking August signal and do my best to slow it down. Meanwhile, your job is to restore your friend's control over their own consciousness. After that, come back and help me strengthen the firewall so we can defeat that attacking signal together. If you fail, we'll all be stuck here, and it doesn't matter how much time I can buy. You have to do this. Do you understand? I'll do my part and you do what you have to do. Got it? If you fail, I will never forgive you. Anna's consciousness floats over to the unconscious juveniles, waiting for 45 to do as she promised. Don't try to play it cool until you're as tall as I am. Wow. Now then, it's time to deal with that I forgot what that means. Verdammt attacking a signal. Damn, I guess.
Yeah, the insult.
Yeah, it's a German word, obviously. I know what you want, M16. Surely nothing is more precious than one's lost memories, no? And now, got the butt. No, it's not bad.
Long story.
Now you do the foaming, and now the foam needs to be stabilized. She hears the whistling of steam and the clamour of grinding gears. Her index finger starts to ache, and there's a soreness coming from the back of her head. Your P45 knows very well that she's back here. Once again, she's inside the main Sengis Ferry factory on the day of Operation Butterfly. She suddenly understands the meaning of what M16 has said to her. I wanted to resolve the grudge between us in person. Her memories flow in reverse once more, then the rewind comes to an end. As though all the sentimental thoughts she just had were never real. Honestly, this is just too old hat. And as though someone has pressed the play button, the memory begins to repeat itself once again. Any last words, traitor? Just a little more. What's this? Still putting up a fight? I wonder which of us is the real traitor. Are those your parting words? Farewell, UMP 45. There was a burst of gunfire, and several bullet holes appeared in 45's head. Now you're quiet, huh? Looks like this really was the last one. M16 turned away and briefly hesitated before taking out a spare magazine. She put the empty magazine out of her weapon and tossed it away, but before it could even hit the ground, M16 collapsed onto her knees in pain. My chest hurts. It took all her strength, but M16 managed to stand up. In the distance, a blinking red camera head pointed itself at her. It couldn't even hold her weapon. Her rifle slipped. She couldn't even hold her weapon. Her rifle slipped out her hands. Oh, by the way, I have this playing in the background. I completely forgot about that. You know what? I want to continue putting it in the back. You know what? No, I won't. Dust swirled and danced around the falling rifle. Then everything seemed to freeze. Both the rifle and the dust stopped moving in midair. All motion ceased, as if time itself had come to a halt, or perhaps like a three-dimensional photograph.
Look at this photograph.
Okay.
Look at this graph.
The MP45 gets to her feet, brushing off the dust and shell casings from her body. I see. So if I were destroyed, she would suffer a meltdown as well. Other dolls had been infected with parafluid back then, and they had all either gone berserk or had a neural cascade at almost the same time. In the end, only she and I survived. If I survived because I was lucky enough to have been overlooked, then how did she get out of that alive? So M16 was already infected with parafluid long before she was part of the ER team. The MP45 shakes her head. These are simulated memories. Even if I ask, there's no way I'll get an answer. Even now, I didn't manage to survive a single encounter with her in the hundreds of simulations I've conducted. Was what really happened back then really a miracle to end all miracles? In that case, let's go through the sequence again while that demoness hasn't found me yet. You're certainly enjoying yourself. And speak of the devil.
I mean, did you refer to her as a demoness?
Caught at last, huh? I didn't expect you to be stupid enough to walk right into it. Save your bravado. We both know your electronic warfare isn't your strong suit. Also, you seem much slower than you used to be, considering I managed to go through so many playbacks before you realized what I was doing. So, did your neural cloud go binary after you joined SF? You don't need to throw your life away in such a hurry. I remember I've already warned you about this. And I heard your warning loud and clear, just as I did back then. M16 bends down and picks down. I can't speak. M16 bends down and picks up her rifle.
Picks down her rifle.
What?
Bends up and picks down her rifle. Yes.
I should have killed you back then. Yes,
you should have aimed for the head.
You should have aimed for the head. Yes, you should have, but you didn't. And you don't know why you didn't do it. M16 chambers around, and her eyes flash with murderous intent. You can't restore those deleted memories no matter what you do, isn't that right? That's why you want to learn about what happened back then from me. But you're afraid I'll figure out your intentions, so you carefully try to steal the memories without drawing my attention. You don't even remember the moment you betrayed your own team, do you? You should have said that. Are you ready to pay for it? Your frank and earnest desire to skin me alive right now suits you better than that nonsense you're spouting as part of your act. Come on then, I'll beat you, just like I did before. Oh, and this is the showdown. Oh!
Probably.
Wait, does this mean this is the last stage? No, right? Can't be.
No. There's a chapter 5.
Yeah. I thought you get it called at the end of the PL.
I think chapter 5 you get more prototype berries, I think.
I don't know what happened. But look, backwards tarantulas, what the fuck? I mean, it is 16, but I know there's no way you're gonna do this. That's not happening.
That's Steiner Gates.
Oh god, all the power level is quite high now.
It's over 9,000.
This one is a little bit better. What's the point of that one singular diner kit? Why?
Just there to be there.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable. It's just one tiny little Dynagate.
Being guarded by all the manticores.
The manticores, I know you're not gonna kill it.
That looks like G. Now where's M16? Yeah,
exactly.
There's so many manticores, what the heck? This one's on alert, is it? That's on alert. This is on garrison. The rest are on patrol. So what's the goal? Defeat M16? Defeat M16. It's only just her, right? But this doesn't look like the Sanguis M16. This looks like the regular M16.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a flashback kind of deal.
Oh, yeah, it does. She isn't wearing her eye patch, yeah.
Yeah, flashback. Big 16. It's like you'll never beat me this time. I honestly recommend SMG.
Wait, that means you've done this before?
I'm doing it right now, and
Oh.
I'm telling you right now, my HGs aren't tanking jack.
Okay, alright.
I mean, they're fine, but they're not tanking very well. But it needs to be a strong AR SMG. I'll give you.
How strong?
Can punch through a decent amount
人
of
形効
armor
率を
strong.
計測中
That's overkill, right?
Yeah, I mean, understood. I don't think.
あなたたちのセンスを直してあげるわやっと出番ね7級式チームに加わります
This is a good comp. It doesn't look like it is good comp. Actually, it's alright. Yeah, okay.
Too many grenades.
1, 2, 3. 3 good nuts. And there's an N. Look at these two beautiful girls right here. I need a dress skin. Oh, you don't have a dress skin. Oh yeah, she doesn't. That much.
There's a wedding in heading.
Oh yeah, she has a wedding skin. I mean, I can only
メリ
find
ークリスマス指揮官さっさと舞踏会を終わらせましょう
I mean,
このドレス
have
じ
you
ゃ
removed the Christmas
ち
skin
ょ
from
っと
Cardigan?
寒いわ
You need to call me out on like that.
Because neither have I.
Geronimo 行動開始
Do you see Geronimo? 416? Straight down the middle?
My life just flashed before my eyes.
Why?
M16 targeted backline. I had HGRF. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Thank goodness for great activates one-shot.exe. But yeah, I'm gonna have to send my DOS to repair.
That bad?
ターゲット発見
Yeah,
突撃
it's more task for one.
MP ごときが私たちと腕比べしようっての
And it's far back enough that my HGRFs are really bad at dealing with those. Because it's not close enough to be safe, you know.
Of course. Just don't tell you.
It haunts you.
Oh god, that's not the one. No, I think I need to use this one. Oh god, they spawned. Oh, enemies.
Stuka Black Rush.
ターゲット発見突撃 MP ごときが私たちと腕比べしようっての
Oh,
やれることをやったそれだけさ
yeah, she's about
指揮
half.
官こそお疲れ様
I guess it's fine. I mean, I still have a ton fairy. You see, that's my disposal. Don't know why I put it on them. So. Wait, what? Why are there manticores on expand now? That's not good. We will go straight for my bloody. I need to protect my
3回して迎撃自分のことを信じてあげて私の狩りに失敗の2文字
I need to protect my common post. Yeah, bye. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have enough ammo to take out for all 4 of them. Yeah, bye. What do I do? I can't deploy any more echelons. So how the hell am I going to resupply? Or should I just commit? Oh, there's a resupply point right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna go see ya.
See ya. Okay, I can't step into the range for them. I don't want them to bother to detect me. So I'm gonna send this back to protect start protecting the command post.
The only objective is to defeat M16, right?
Yep.
So if you can manage to sneak past them, you should be fine.
Oh, but isn't those teleports gonna be putting out even more? Jeez.
Yep,
Oh no.
that's probably going to happen. It is getting late. Oh shit.
3回して迎撃
That thing will help. Curry goes there. Back now and now.
食らえ
Don't hurt
今あなたたちが祈れる相手は
my-
私しかいませんよ
Crap. Okay, let's see. Move down. What do you need to refuel here?
ターゲット発見突撃
Back off.
MP ごときが私たちと腕比べしようっての私は完璧よやれることをやったそれだけさ
Man, Tap Selena is taking a lot then. One, two. One, two, three, four. I mean, I can just go straight for it now. I will take that advantage.
All the best of luck.
Okay, I need to use
ターゲット発見
GPS to
突撃
do offensive. I don't think GPS is just
今です行きましょうああ時間の無駄だったわね
GPS is just the most damage because of the early grenading. Okay, so up. And M16. 416 was
ターゲット発見突撃
I'm gonna put.
うら
Okay, what
今
is
で
that?
すこの2発で十
Just
分
a
Really?
flashbang.
She has shoot as well.
私は完璧よ
Deep panic retreat.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I don't think that's a stun grenade.
私にできるのは
That is
これしかない
Oh my god. Just take it, don't worry. Oh,
やれることを
bollocks,
やった
man.
それだけさ
You got through it.
指揮官こ
And we
そ
took half.
お疲れ様
Fine now. You actually don't. It's not as much as I would think for a boss, to be honest. You should be fine, right?
Yep,
There
missions
you go.
suck. Stress.
はじめまして
Ooh, 10 crates.
L8号A1 です指揮官
Oh,
お
congratulations.
茶しませんか
This all of these just to make bread.
Yes, now is the bread is molding. How nice. Oh, hard work done the rain. I think we do this cutscene and might. I want to see how much in the chapter and see whether we can complete it after this one. Oh,
True.
balls. Not even halfway through. Oh my god.
You'd think that we'll be at least halfway through.
Nope. The attacking signal vanished. Did I win? No. Her processing power is far stronger than mine. She beat me. UMP-45 slowly gets up on her feet. She can tell that she's in her level 3 base layer. How merciful of her for not finishing me off instantly. So she's forced me into my own base layer. Is she that desperate to read my memories from back then? However, I've encrypted those memories, so it'll probably take her a while to find them. Will you help me in the last bit of time I have left? Okay. I thought you'd never come back here again. So she keeps UMP 40 in a base layer. And I would not if I could have avoided it. What should I say then? Welcome back? Or good rest? Stop teasing me. Why wish me a good journey when I'm obviously not going anywhere? Yeah, I understand. After all, something bad must have happened, or you wouldn't have wound up getting trapped in here again. Am I right, 45? UMP 45 residing in the depths of 45's neural cloud slowly comes into view. She grins happily at 45. She knows that 45 must have met with some terrible danger to have ended up in a base layer. But being able to see her again fulfills this simulated persona with heartfelt joy. Yeah, I ran into a crisis that made a mockery of all the cool things I said in the past. And here I thought I'll only meet you again to bid you farewell after settling everything. EMP 40 simulated persona. They have to specialize that. Not specialize, emphasize that. That's fine. You look super cool even when you're as wretched as this 45. I don't mind chatting with you a few more times before we say our goodbyes. Honestly, right? Do I need to explain the situation to you? I exist in a neural cloud. I've been quietly watching everything that has happened to you. So you know exactly what I've overheard before, right? You mean the fact that I'm not a manifestation of your longing for 40, but a consciousness born from the virus? So you do know. Yep, I know what you know. Don't worry, I'm glad you know exactly what I am. If I'm more than a simulated personality, that means I can at least be of some help, right? The old gas of the AR team's leader is super strong. She can help her dolls so much. I'm envious. So this is basically UMP-45's old gas. If only I had power like that. We all started because of old gas, and yet everyone's becoming more reliant on its power. There's nothing wrong with power in itself. If I also had the power to help you, would have been a useful aid to you, the way Miss Dandelion is to M4A1? I don't need. But right now you do need help. If my appearance makes you uncomfortable, I can. No, ignore what I just said. This isn't the time to dwell on my own past. So Ogas is taking the image of UMP-40. Isn't that kind of rude? It feels very insensitive.
It is.
I need to use all the power I can get my hands on. If I can't get out of this place, then everything will be for nothing. So you're saying, I need your help. I don't care if you're an image of her past or an August entity that developed from a virus. If you're willing to help me, please lend me your strength so I can keep the promise I once made. I would have done that even if you haven't asked. I have to hand it to you. You're really resilient. Stop making fun of me. Focus on the mission. Alright, you're the boss. Now that I think about it, you're the reason why I could enter M4's neural cloud and the Naito's consciousness. M16 ought to be no different, since she wants to read my memories so badly. Is there a way we can turn the tables on her and expose her weakness? Normally that wouldn't be possible, because your body's processing power is very limited. You have been upgraded, but even with that, infiltrating such a high-spec neural cloud would be very difficult. However, an old gas protocol signal just tried to connect with me from the outside. After briefly making contact with it, I realized I could tap into an external source of processing power through the link. If they can give me enough computational support, I might be able to crack the logic algorithm that's sitting off your level 2 layer, or even do what you said and reverse penetrate the opposition's neural cloud. Looks like the bread has done her job. Oh, Anna. Should I establish the connection? Can you? But isn't it only possible to connect through an ID signal at the moment? If that's all I need to do, please hold. Whoa, where the heck am I? It's pitch black. You are you stupid? It's me, Anna. Okay. I guess so much. I didn't expect her to establish comms in this manner. What are you spacing out for? We are all okay on our end, but the Ogre signal has you thoroughly trapped. I tried pulling you out a few times, but I couldn't. However, I found a circuit in your base layer that's connected to an Ogre's consciousness in your neural cloud, so I used the opening to get in. You really are different from other dolls. You have an Ogre's interface in your base layer, how surprising. Make sure you don't get wiped out in there. Why? Thank you for your concern. Your partner told me all about your plan. We will try to provide you with processing power. Everyone's waiting for you outside, so make sure you don't kick the bucket in there. That's a big help. Tell Angie I won't be long. What a cute little girl. See, even Ogres likes her. Is she a new friend of yours, 45? A new pain in the ass, more like. Can we begin now? Yeah, I'm analyzing the source of the opposition's data flows. One moment. Alright, I've synchronized and combined the shared records from both sides. With that, we should be able to find the opening which leads to the opposition's neural cloud. And we're back here again. UMP for this simulator persona begins loading information into her surroundings, and the scene UMP-45 once saw in Tallinn gradually unfolds before her. Under an inverted forest, the familiar mansion lies not far away. This is what I saw in M4's neural cloud back then. Yup, M16 has this in the neural cloud as well. She's trying to merge with the neural cloud, but the memories had overlapped, and the overlapping processes were skipped. Therefore, this is the opening where the firewall is weaker. We might be able to invert. Oh god. Invade her neural cloud through this gap. Why is the firewall weaker there? M4's and M16's neural cloud were probably derived from the same person. According to my records, the neural clouds for the AR team were all made from the brain scan of the same human, which is why their neural clouds can't be duplicated or backed up. So everyone all originated from Lunasia. Meanwhile, this portion of memories belonged to the original human, which probably means it's the read-only section. That implies the Ogre's consciousness can't make big alterations to that piece of data. The same person. I'm getting really tired of hearing the name Lunasia. So are you, Ben?
It's more like I can't pronounce it and more of tired of hearing it.
I resorted the data from before. This information has always been a blind spot for us. Perhaps the truth has always been right within our reach, but we simply had no way of perceiving it. If it involves the AR team, that implies Persica also has a part in this. I can't reach a conclusion just from the data you possess.
I forgot that Persica is actually a person.
Yeah. She's the one that created the AR thing.
I know, but it's been so long, I don't even remember.
Oofed. But in any case, M16's agenda might be hidden deeper than we imagine. We need to figure out what she has in mind. When you put it that way, all her seemingly illogical actions could be intended to disrupt a plan we haven't even heard of yet. Is that so? Or is that what you want to believe? Maybe deep down in your heart, you do admire her. You like her, yet you hate her. Looks like you regard the whole AR team in the same way. You don't need to get out of the way to tell me when you pry into my thoughts. If you had their power, you'd definitely use it better than they did. Hypothetical scenarios are irrelevant. Right, let's get down to business. UMP-45 and UMP-40 enter the mansion under the inverted forest. Unlike how it was before, the house looks like it hasn't been maintained for many years. The doors are on the floor and the interior is covered in a thick layer of dust. This mansion is in a place where the memories overlap. But something feels strange. Did you sense something? The overlapping segment isn't as big as I expected. The layout of the house is different from what we saw earlier. Could it be a trap? If I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't have go about it in such a convoluted manner. Don't worry, I just want to talk. Why don't we go out to the yard? I don't really like the oppressive atmosphere inside the house. What? UMP-45 realizes that things aren't quite right, but she knows she is at a massive disadvantage in this place. Somebody seems to have taken over UMP-40's simulated persona, and it happens so quickly they didn't even have a chance to react. UMP-45 has no choice but to comply. She approaches the garden in the backyard cautiously, but it is completely empty. There's no one here. I don't know why, but seeing this garden always puts me at ease. Are you M16? What do you think? If you're not her, then who are you? One of the isomers? You've met before, haven't we? During Operation Butterfly. What? We have almost achieved our objective. You cannot stop us. So what are you doing? What are you doing now? Playing a game of cat and mouse? If you could crush us in an instant, then why didn't you kill me from the start? I don't want to destroy you. Doesn't matter if you're from Squad 404, the AR team, or Griffin. You are not my enemy. I will help M16 get what she wants. Since she helped me, I will help her. Oh, so M16's old guess? What do you want? You guessed it. I want to see the memories that she has lost. The simulated persona of UMP-40 waves her hand, and the surrounding immediately transforms into the scene of Operation Butterfly in 45's memories. Just a little more. Still putting up a fight. Why is this scene related so many times?
Memories alone.
I wonder which of us is the real traitor. Are those your parting words? Farewell, UMP-45. I know this is supposed to be like, foreshadowing and then trying to build up the final sequence of the story. Now, M16 was shocked to find that her bullets had gone past UMP-45's original position and made 2 holes on the ground. Crack. UMP-45's left wrist snapped. She had deliberately broke the wrist that M16 had in her grip in order to buy herself a chance to fight back. Although she had already turned off the pain receptors in her left arm, the instinctive feedback of the displaced machinery was still extremely disconcerting. However, there was no time to think about that. UMP-45 spun around and kicked as hard as she could, freeing herself from M16's grab. She rode the momentum of the reaction force to pick up her gun, then turned around and took aim at M16. I didn't think you could disrupt my fire control system in such a short time. You've done very well for a doll like you. All those doors where the door was shot in the back, that must have been your handiwork. My mission is to eliminate all traitorous doors. So you knew something like this was going to happen. You betrayed us from all from the very beginning. Have you thought about what will happen to you in the end? You think you can avoid being silenced too? That's not for you to worry about. You just have to die here. M16 opened fire on UMP-45 without any hesitation, but she couldn't land a shot due to 45's interference. 45 took the opportunity to duck behind the closest piece of cover and changed the empty magazine as she pointed her next move. I'm almost out of ammo. I can't defeat her just by disrupting her shooting. What else can I do? M16 rained suppressive fire down on M45 as she slowly approached the cover which 45 was hiding behind. 45 countered M16 shots, intending to counter-attack once she's out of ammo. However, M16 changed magazines with incredible speed, giving 45 no time to poke her head out and shoot. Bullets pounded 45's cover. All she could do was keep her head down to avoid incoming fire. She banished all unnecessary thoughts from her mind, quietly waiting for the only chance she had of obtaining victory. Another magazine was discarded. M16 was very close to UMP-45's hiding place. The empty magazine fell, but before it could hit the ground, M16 was already on her knees, writhing in pain. What's going on? It's finally begun. She's having a neural meltdown. 45 leaned out against her cover and fired M16, but she had a hard time controlling her aim without her left hand. With great effort, M16 raised her arm to shield her vitals while laying down suppressive fire. Her hasty shots did not hit 45 directly, but the sparks and dust that they threw up obscured her vision. As the hammer fell on an empty chamber, M16 took advantage of the gap in 45's fire and dashed towards her. Right before 45 could take aim again, M16 switched her grip on her gun, grabbed it by the barrel and swung it at 45. The massive impact sent 45's weapon flying from her hand. M16 used her momentum to grab 45 by the collar and pin her down once more, and the dagger she put out from her back gleamed menacingly in the light. 45 instinctively clawed at M16's face in an attempt to push her off. In her desperation, her fingers actually mangled the left half of M16's face. M16 paid no heed to her injury. She held her knife with both hands and plunged it viciously at 45's head. But in the confusion, 45 reached out and blocked the stab with her right hand. There was a mighty crack as the right arm broke. The intense pain caused 45's hand to claw a horrific scar into M16's face. M16 paid no mind either and savagely forced her knife down on UMP 45's head, and this time 45 had no way to stop her. 45 felt the sharp tip of the dagger on her skin. There was no escape. But then the knife suddenly stopped in its tracks. Through her half-open right eye, 45 saw that M16 was still straddling her, but her gaze was strangely dull, as though she had lost consciousness. So she finally burnt out, There was a close shave. The knife had left a scar on UMP 45's left eye. She tried to push M16's frozen hands away from her face, but M16 would not budge, pinning 45 beneath her. You won't let me go even when you're dead, Forget it, let me take a breather first. M16 suddenly came back to life, and the cold look in her eyes chilled 45 to the core. The only thought that echoed in UMP 45's clearer cloud was, "It's over," as despair swallowed her like a bottomless abyss. However, M16 did not resume her attack. She stood up and sheathed her knife behind her, picked up her rifle and turned to leave. What's the meaning of this? Not gonna kill me? M16 looked at 45 one last time, then she bolted from the room. I think I understand everything that's happened that day. M16 didn't finish me off back then. Was it because of you? I made a deal with her. I would save her from a neural meltdown, and she would let me see my father one last time. Father? I believe you've already guessed who I am. I've already guessed it long ago. Wait, what? Okay, wait, what?
Now you're not really wrong with you.
I don't think I'll meet you on these circumstances, Eliza. I'm very glad that your first response was to not reject me. You took control of her body back then, so you let go of me since I was no longer of any value. I need to thank you. If it wasn't for you, I would have still been sealed inside the pipe core. But at the same time, I resent you. If it wasn't for you, Father wouldn't have died back then, even though I know it was not your fault. We both lost everything we cherished on that day. Don't you think that makes us very similar? So you're trying to win me over in a very roundabout way. I simply want to tell you a few things you should know. We both hate the same enemy. There's no need for us to kill each other before we find him. M16 understands that, and I believe so will you. Alright, I'm listening. Father was afraid he had made the wrong choice, so he deleted a lot of important authorizations that were originally part of the OGAS system. That's why I have always been incomplete. However, the doors of the AR team are built with completely intact base layer protocols, and Father was calling out for Persica, their creator, in his final moments. In the end, when our own OGAS systems developed, their consciousness was similar yet different. So that's why you've been trying to connect with M4 all the while. However, I've lost hope in her. Right now I can finish everything by myself, even if I lose everything I created. So don't interfere with our plans. Similarly, I won't hurt you either. Once the coalescence is complete, the truth will be revealed to everyone who's been deceived. Coalescence? Wait, don't tell me you're going to... You have given me what I want, so I will spare you. But remember, this is my final warning. Do not become my enemy, or you will regret your decision. UMP-45 feels a shift in her surroundings. Elisha's consciousness has left the simulated persona of UMP-40. The CEO on the newer cloud is gradually lifted, and she can hear Anna and others calling out to her. 45 hesitates briefly. There has been a massive shift in everything she once thought she knew. She needs to think about all the things she has just learned. In any case, the seal has now been broken. She decides to return to level 2 before considering what she will do next. The young Naito senses 45's return and immediately forms a link with her. You actually did it! The remote attack is gone! Looks like Angie wasn't wrong about you after all. So you're just as quick to praise as you are to insult. Can't say I dislike this kind of candor. What's the situation out there? Look, she's so happy! She's so cute!
I mean, basically all their lives has been spared. I wouldn't be happy if that was the case as well.
My sisters are fine. They've all woken up. We've deactivated the jamming and lifted the lockdown on the labs. But you better keep your word and keep us safe. Take this matter to Angie. I'm very tired right now. I'm going to rest for a bit before resurfacing. Go on ahead and discuss our next move with the others outside. Okay, I'll relay that to Angie. Should I tell Angie about what I just learned? Everything's become even more complicated. What a surprise. Jeez. What? Nothing?
It's all.
What? Wait, what? What?
Annealing is not something you do in bread, I think.
Does any of these things sound like baking?
Annealing is for metals.
So this is metals?
It's a term for
Milling,
metal.
Mixing, preheating, sintering, foaming, foam stabilization, molding. Molding! So you're casting something out of it.
Yeah, and annealing is to make like to do a certain process with the metal, if I'm correct. I think it might be I learned this before, so harden or it's either to harden or to soften the metal.
Who knows? What is this? It's a combat stage. Is this another? This looks like another person's perspective. Considering that that's how this.
It is to reduce. No, it is to reduce the hardness of the metal through heat. Huh?
Hi. What's up?
Annealing is to reduce a metal's hardness through a heating process.
Yeah, it does. I guess that's how it works. Yeah,
so this is a forging process.
Alright. Okay, let's just... I'm gonna take out of this stage. What is this? Why is this thing here? Please don't tell me the story. I mean, there should be... It's just lost. What?
Expand your third parties. Roderos. These are third parties.
Men... What are the... Minions? Roderos...
Roderos.
Dragoons, Manticores. Forgot what their names are.
Gunners.
Yeah, from
Are they
Gunners.
not?
No, there's a definitely different name for it.
You can always expand and take a look.
Strikers, right?
Strikers.
And then
What is that? What is that thing? Is that reverse metal? Reverse crab?
I don't know, man.
What's the crawling thing on the ground?
Oh, you mean that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine layer. Tactile. It's an armored unit, set traps during mission. Pass by, you get damage. Okay, sounds disgusting, but okay.
Where is it?
It's in front.
How can you see it? Oh, it's right here.
It's hidden beneath the layers.
If it runs very fast, that means, you know, you can kill it very easily before, you know, it starts laying mines. So what's the
But don't
objective?
expand. Your objective is to capture
Survive
command
2
post.
turns and occupy enemy
Command
command
post.
post. Where
You
is it?
can. It's not really even a combat
Oh, it's
station.
right here.
Yeah, and it's a one way. You cannot. You can't. Your HQ literally cannot be
Okay,
captured.
so what's this for? Just something?
Just move.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Just dummy echelon move to HQ can already. Right?
Oh gosh, this echelon is
ジェロニモ行動
Yeah, what the
開
heck is
始
this? Is this like some story relevant?
Everything. Yeah, I think it's story relevant.
Or is it just
Move to HQ. Wait, why? Oh yeah, that works as well.
So you're observing the massacre out there?
Yeah, the SF units fighting the
SF units, paradours,
fighting the military.
Oh, the military lost. The
Oh, the military
there.
won that one. I mean, against a Manticore, I don't think the military really stands a chance.
Oh yeah, of course. But that was not Manticore, that's a Nemem one.
Oh, Nandem? Yeah, okay, maybe military stands a chance against Nandem.
Funny enough, these are the Sangvis units. You see these ones? These are the upgraded versions of the Sangvis units.
But they are the military version. For some reason, they are military.
I know, I'm not even.
What is that thing on the top? Is that a bow archer? Explodey archer boy?
Where?
Yeah, the one that just
Oh,
enter
Manticore
combat.
just murdered. Oh my god, it took so much
Yeah, the Manticore just.
HP out the Manticore.
Well, it doesn't matter. Everything else is dead.
Oh wow, that one is strong.
Yeah, the mine layers apparently is half. But it's game over. We captured.
Okay, I don't even know what the heck is this for. Okay, yeah, thanks for the
Wait, it's an A?
I-
Do you need to defeat units for that
Oh,
round?
I see. Is this my quick grind stage? This might be my quick grind stage.
Wait, why do you get an A?
I
Not an S.
What the heck? Why is it there? What the hell?
That was a pretty sure story.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna just keep it for tomorrow. Yeah, I think
If there is a tomorrow. Okay, no.
I'm gonna probably do it. I have to do it every single day, bro. Otherwise, I won't be able to finish this. Look at the progress.
Have been started. Okay, no.
I mean, you're kind of, at least you're kind of experiencing the story with me as well, right? So you get to understand what's going on.
Yeah, but I'm kind of tired
I
already.
know. So let's.
Yeah, I'm literally not kind of tired. I'm sure I'm
You are
pretty
tired. So let's.
I wasn't even focusing on the gameplay that much. Most of the
gameplay. I
time.
mean, the most important part is the story.
To be honest, I also don't really know the context, so I'm very lost in the story. Don't forget, I've not played for a long time, and I have not really
警戒
managed to
態勢に
complete
入ります
the
このエ
story
リア
games.
私が守るからきっと大丈夫
Why is Theater free?
Remember, the only mode that I
Suck up
actually
that one.
completed is the only 2 stories that I actually completed is the Division and Gunslinger. Though.
These are collab stages.
Yeah, they're not even actual like story stages.
Alright.
So just saying, that's one of the only 2 events I actually bothered completing. The Gunslinger Girl one was completely like weird and wacky, and I have no idea what's going on half the time. I only know the main plot is probably just rescuing your girl's consciousness from level 2. And for the Division is someone being trapped in the game and then, you know, having to deal with AIs that would literally murder your face. That's about it, I would assume.
Yep. Sounds about right.
いいよ 次は
Sounds good.
ど
All
こ
of it
か
was
よ
posted on a competition just to get players to join the game. And to say
Join
the
the game they
least,
have.
to say the least, they did, and at least Kalina was happy in the end.
Yeah. Tokens! More jaws incoming. Hey!
ウェブリーです。お待ちしておりました。荷物を下ろしたいので、宿舎までご案内いただけますか？
Honestly, I thought she was a throwaway weapon. I like character.
They don't really throw away characters. They don't really throw away characters when you're competitions.
Yeah, I know, I just thought that she was a throwaway
Thank you,
character,
Kalina, for the
honestly.
resources. I need those. Whew.
Because I saw her in the squad that was literally the last stand squad,
Yeah.
the rear guard, and I thought she's just a throwaway character.
Nah, obviously not.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if she is.
I mean, I'll just quickly take a look at what she does. Actually, not very sure.
Breaks the convention of handguns. Causes grenades, you know.
Right.
She's higher up. You
Higher up?
really go too far. Yep, so
Oh, yeah.
that's
Order.
really weird how.
Oh, that's interesting. House HER. When
When
placed in an
placed-
echelon member slot, increase the echelon's leader's damage and rate of fire by 10% for 5 seconds, while
So you
reducing the current cooldown of the leader's skill by 15%. When placed in the leader's echelon's position, or if the leader is absent, raise all allies' damage by 50%, lasting for 5 seconds.
I mean, this ties in well with the whole last standing.
Wow, but that's very interesting. I've never seen a girl's mechanic dealing with the formation of like of an echelon.
So technically, you can put her as a what's that
So like,
called?
whoever's here, right, it matters a lot. If she's in the
You can put her as a member, and if you need extra damage, you can retreat the leader for all your girls have extra damage.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a risky play because you are retreating a unit.
Well, I probably would be nice. I don't know what's the other stuff. I
Just make sure you don't accidentally retreat the leader who is like an RF if you're doing HGR as well.
I mean, wouldn't she buff the AR? Wait, how did she buff the leader again? I don't remember.
Does she buff the leader only?
Hold on, let me just check.
お洋服のコーディネートと同じです。おのおのの良さが
Increase
ちゃんと引き立つような編成をしてくださいね。
Oh, while reducing the current cooldown time of the leader's skill by 15 seconds.
Ironically, this is actually really powerful for RFs. Problem being is if you put a leader in an RF, you cannot use her second gimmick at all.
But then her second gimmick is like, I don't want to reach. I wouldn't want to.
Unless your RF takes a ton of damage and needs to retreat. But usually that shouldn't be
it
there.
Depends, like let's say you know, it's gonna be like this.
What's her evasion though? Is she an evasive or tanking?
Most handguns are not that. I have a decent amount of evasion. It's just that with whether they can evade enough because they don't have a lot of HP.
I'm just curious whether she is a more evasion type or more HP
I
type.
need to go to the index and check that. But I mean, let's see, right? You know,
Because like
she's
people
the
like
main tank,
Grizzly
right?
are.
He taps out the main tank, right? If I retreat her in the battle, right?
Everyone on the squad gets 15.
So it will buff this too. Most importantly, it will buff this too.
Yeah.
But if I have like this,
Then
just buff
only buff ASVK.
just retreat. So I guess you know it's you want
You
a
still
very super powerful rifle, or do you want to balance it out? I wouldn't say
But don't
super
forget,
powerful.
if you balance it up, you have to retreat a unit, or she has to be the leader, or
I
else it
don't remember
doesn't
who
work.
was the girl that was in the squad.
安心してダーリン、きっと大丈夫だから。
Who knows? Probably see what I can do in the future. I mean, as you can tell, I haven't been the most conscientious in leveling my T-Longs.
You think?
I have a lot of 5 stars just sitting down here.
I mean, you have 5 stars. I don't really have 5 stars. So then again, I get the gear from my first few draws. It's like one of my first 5 stars. That's that. But I don't have some of the 5 stars I want my SAT. I want SAT because of the skills, to be honest.
She is an MG, but she has an AR mode. When the magazine is depleted, passive switch to AR when the magazine is depleted, which lowers attack speed by 40%, raises accuracy by 50%, and raises move speed by 150%. She becomes an AR once she runs out of ammo. Once she runs out of ammo as an MG, then if you click a skill, she goes back into MG mode with little time fixed in 1 second. She reloads at 1 second. After reloading, there's AR mode stat adjustments for raising a self firepower by 20%, lasting for 3 seconds.
It might work really well with
What is this? The heck, man?
But she buffs SG, SMG, AR.
The heck, man?
She buffs 3 types, unlike
That's
most.
really weird. You give my
Why
Empress
would you
armor.
give armor to ARs?
Why not? M16 is armor. M41 is armor. But
Not
this is
mine.
Increased by 60%. If you increase something by 80%, right? You're doing it by 1.18 times more, correct?
Yeah, at least it's not.
If they already have 0
damage.
armor, so it won't affect them, I guess.
At least it's not damaged. It's not 2. 2 is worse.
2.
2 literally just dropping the thing down to the value. EO. Not, you substitute BY by TO. If you substitute BY by T to TO, it literally reduces your damage and armor.
I really don't understand what you're saying.
Damage to 12% and armor to 18%.
Obviously, it won't be reduced.
That will be reducing it. So I said at least it isn't 2.
Whatever.
I don't see what's so hard to understand about that.
I don't know, maybe the way you say it.
I guess.
Alright, with that, I want to end off
人類の涙は
today's stream.
血から作ったものだ
It's
そうで
quite fruitful.
では
A lot of
人形の
stuff
方はどうでしょうか
have been revealed, not really revealed, but kind of, basically thrown into the mix as well, essentially. So now we will push on. We are technically about halfway through. Yeah, I will be doing it again tomorrow, but on Friday I think I will be streaming Genshin instead. So yeah, so keep a lookout for that if you want to join and watch me do Gacha Hell and some other stuff that might be interesting. Who knows?
Watch him get you out this strong.
And then yeah.
And now on his second.
So thank you everyone who has come. I appreciate all of you coming to support me, or just be here. I'm very appreciative for that. I'm very grateful for that. With that, I would like to wish everyone a good day, a good night. I'll see you guys around. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
The layer of dust is turning.